possible for them to succeed and be propelled forward. Let's remove them. But to those like me who've walked the path, I always like to say, I've eaten more bags of mealie meal than you sitting here. So it is imperative that I mentor. Imperative. And all of us have to mentor and create leadership pathways. Young people need role models. They need opportunities and they need platforms to lead, not in the future, but right now. Right now. When young Africans are empowered, they do not just create jobs for themselves, they create entire industries. And we've seen it where opportunities have been made possible for them. They thrive. They thrive. Let us do more of that. We must have push for inclusive leadership in economic transformation. Transforming Africa's economies requires bold, systemic changes grounded in inclusive principles. Here are the 5 pillars. Industrialization anchored in local value creation. Africa must stop exporting raw materials and importing poverty. Inclusive industrialization means building factories, developing skills, and owning our value chain. Whether you like President Ibrahim Traore or not, he's shown us that it's possible with intention. It's possible. Imagine if it's replicated in all African countries. Regional integration as a growth multiplier. The AfCFTA is the largest trading bloc in the world by population. We know that. Inclusive leadership means making this agreement work for small and medium-sized enterprises, not just large corporations, because that's what's happening now. So we need to up our ante and fight more. We need to push for ethical governance and accountability. Corruption excludes the poor and it erodes opportunity. Transparent governance is the foundation of inclusive economy. Let's not look aside when we see things going wrong. Because when we do, they proliferate and they become endemic. And it becomes difficult to change that. Gender inclusive prosperity. Women are not beneficiaries. They are economic drivers. Investing in women transforms households, communities, and nations. Can't leave women behind because we are in the majority. In that 60% that we spoke about of the youth, the majority are young women. So we can't leave them behind. Public-private collaboration. Africans must stop believing that to have this, it has to be a foreign-owned company that comes from wherever, overseas, and not believe Africans can be partners to government and do well. So we must push for that. Because governments alone cannot transform economies. Their job is legislation as legislators. Entrepreneurs and business people must drive the economy. Unfortunately, in most of our countries, it's been blurred. Politicians think they are business people. They are not. But we let them. We allow them. If we don't, it won't happen. But they believe that both the public and the private sector. Let us push for true public-private partnerships. The private sector alone cannot create equity, but together they can build sustainable development ecosystems. I know we know that. These pillars are not theories. They are action we must commit to. Leadership for places people at the center of development, that prioritizes fairness and dignity, that takes responsibility for change, and is willing to disrupt broken systems. Every generation is called to rise to the challenge of its time. This generation's challenge is inclusive transformation, economic, social, and cultural. We must create leaders who do not fear the future but shape it. That is another Achilles heel. We are afraid, but people ask, why are we afraid? We are afraid because we don't challenge these people. Collectively, we are a power block. But when they attack this one, we